Hello, welcome to episode 8 of Firefight. I'm your host, David. Now, hopefully you've gone and watched the setting the scene where we've built this lovely little large building here. And the only thing I've done differently since that video is I've just added these crates on the side, and that's just to add a bit more of a backdrop, just to bulk it out a little bit, because I appreciate we're on a 2x2 board, and then we've got this little building here, so we're a drift of about 6 or 7 inches in total. So just to close that gap off a little bit, I've placed some crates here. All right, so what are we going to do in this one? We are going to pit the Iron Hands Immortals, 10 Iron Hands Immortals, against the 10-man Plasma Support Squad. Now, we saw the Plasma Support Squad take on the Thallax in the previous episode, on episode 7, and they did quite well. So, can the resilience of the Immortals, of which they're famous for, stand up to the Plasma Weaponry? Excuse me. Now, I appreciate it is loyalist against loyalist, and this is the last thing we want to do on the channel. However, as you all know, we're borrowing Dan's Porter's collection of Imperial Fists and Word Bearers. There is no Plasma Support Marines in the Word Bearers army, so we're using the Imperial Fists. Now, there's no special rules pertaining to the plasma guns from the Imperial Fist. So it's not like they're bolters or heavy bolters or bolt pistols that hit on 2s. It's just a straight 3-up to hit. So I appreciate their Imperial Fists and they're loyalist against the Immortals, which are also loyalist, but we are where we are, people. I can't do anything about that, all right? If you want to donate a 10-man Plasma Support Squad, loyalist and traitor to the channel for a short period of time and I can send it back, amazing. If not, I'm sorry. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's have a quick look at the squads. We'll start with the Imperial Fist. They are identical to the squad previously, but I'll run them down very, very quickly. So there are 9 Plasma Support Marines equipped with plasma guns, and the Sergeant is equipped with Artificer Armor, an Augury Scanner, because that's what the model's equipped with. And he also has a plasma pistol, and that squad comes out at 350 points. Now, unbelievably, thanks to the FAQ, the Iron Hands Immortals have had a points reduction, which is fantastic news, particularly with a guy that's got 45 Iron Hands Immortals. So there's a 10-man Immortal squad. The Sergeant has Artificer Armor and a Breaching Charge. We covered that previously. And they are all equipped with Volkite Charges, and that squad runs out at 240 points, so a lot less than the Plasma Support Squad. I know it's a bit unfair. You've got 350 points of Plasma Squad versus the rock hard 240 points of Immortals, but this is where it all happens. This happens in game. Breachers are really good to take on and weather heavy firepower targets such as the Plasmas. So let's get on with it. I think we should start with the Imperial Fist, because I think it's going to be really interesting to see the full complement of firepower into the Immortals and to see whether their breaching shields and their 5-up Feel No Pain can hold off against the plasma weaponry. So let's start with the fists. I've got, again, back to my Boys of the Golden Throne and Conflict Norwich dice. I've gone for a mix this time rather than try and separate them out, because I was clearly useless at doing that last time, so we're not going to do that again. So we've got 2 Marines armed with plasma guns with 2 shots each, so 18 shots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and then of course the Sergeant has a plasma pistol and he gets 1 shot, and I will do him first because they all get hot, so they all have to be done individually. I know it's a pain. All right, so the Sergeant firing into the Immortals, requiring a 3, and that is a hit. Great news. Now we'll do 2 at a time, and we'll go front to back. Okay, 2 hits, good. 2 hits. 1 hit and a miss, no get hot. Got to get hot though, 3-up armor save, and that is failed. I think we're about this Marine in. I'm not too worried about if I get the Marines exactly right or not, because obviously I've got to bend over the front. It's going to be a bit of a pain. All right, so let's do this again. That's another one, that's good. 2 more hits. Okay, 2 misses there, so that's not too bad. Better than rolling double 1. But I roll a miss and a 1. Can he save the gets hot? He does, great news. And finally, the last 2 plasma shots. Okay, not too bad. So let's have a quick count up. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 hits. That is not bad. And if you're firing against a standard Marine squad with no breach shields, no feel, no pain, it would just be 2s to kill. even with Artificer armor. But as we know, we're against the rock hard Immortals. They do have a -1 against shooting attacks, but because of strength 7, it makes no difference. So it is 2s to wound. Oh, wow, okay, let's have a look at that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fail to wound. That is pretty appalling. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So we've got 8 strength 7 AP2 shots against the Immortals at the front there. The Sergeant is second in, so we'll try and start to tank them on the first Marine. Now I know this is a pain because you have to do them individually, and then we're 6 up for the boarding shield, and then it's 5 up Feel No Pain. So I know in game sometimes it can get bogged down, and it's a lot of the reason why we don't do dice rolls at the moment on the channel, because as I said before, there's so much to do on the day, and then to go through that minutiae of detail is quite difficult sometimes. But anyway, let's roll some dice. Let's see what happens. So we're after a 6 up boarding shield, fail, 5 up Feel No Pain. Oh, Conflict Norwich comes to the rescue. That is a save. All right, doing well for the Immortals. 4 up armor, failed. Sorry, so Breaching Shield rather. And then that is a Feel No Pain, also failed. So now we're on to the Sergeant. Has Artificer armor, but it is no good against the AP2 of the Plasma. So shall I keep him? I'll Look Out Sir, because it's an extra step that you usually see. So 4 up to Look Out Sir. That is a pass. Now we're on to a 6 up Breaching Shield, and that is pass. Look at that, 30k channel to the rescue, nice. All right, again, Look Out Sir, failed, 6 up, Breaching Shield fail, 5 up. Okay, that is the Sergeant dead, there you go, it's as easy as that. All right, next up, Breaching Shield, 6 up, fail, 5 up, Feel No Pain. That is also a fail, another Immortal falls. 3 Immortals down, including the Sergeant. 6 up shield, 5 up Feel No Pain. Oh, look at that, 6 to the rescue. 6 up shield, fail, breaching, so Feel No Pain. Oh, so many steps. That is a fail, that is a dead Immortal. And finally, the last one. Let's get it on the 6 up, I can feel it. What have we got? 30k, Conflict 30k, come on. That could not have gone any better. All right, so that's good. Let's have a look at the results. 1, 2, 3, 4 Immortals, including the Sergeant. That is not good. That is enough for a leadership test. Now, Immortals are stubborn when they are in the enemy's deployment zone, but they are not in this case. We'll assume that they're not. So they require an 8 rather. So let's have a look. They pass on a 4. Fantastic news. All right, so we know that there was 10 men in the squad. We've lost 4, so there are 6 Iron Hands Immortals left, and therefore we have 12 Volkite Charger shots. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. All right, so they require 3s to hit, strength 5. That's not a bad roll. 1, 2 fail to hit. Really good. So we've got 10 hits. Strength 5, toughness 4, 3s to wound. That's not bad, you know. We dropped 4. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So we've got 2, 4, 6. We've got 8 wounds. Let's have a quick look. Where is the Sergeant in there? Okay, so he's 3 men in. So let's do 3 at a time here. And we're after 3 up armor saves. Failed 2. Wow, that's pretty awful. So let's get rid of that Marine there. Shake the aggregate off, which I put on earlier. The next closest is actually this Marine in the doorway. A couple more saves to go. Oh man, a 1 and a 2. That is horrendous. All right, so we've got 1. Oh, okay. See, this is where I should have been a bit. I should have done it individually. So because I didn't, the way you can resolve this is, let's say we'll kill the next closest Marine, but we don't know if the armor save was the 1 or the 2 of the dice rolled. The 2 would have helped the Artificer armor out the Sergeant, but we don't know which one it was. So on a 1 to 3, it was the 1, and a 4, 5, or 6, it was the 2. So if we roll that 1, the Sergeant is dead. So let's have a quick look. Okay, 3. So he had saved in his Artificer armor. So that's a good way of resolving that if you get a little bit forgetful. So now we're on to the Sergeant, and we are going to Look Out Sir because we don't want to lose him. We want his leadership. He failed his Look Out Sir. 2 up armor. Rolled a 1. Both squads have lost their sergeants. That's pretty horrendous. And now we're just on to the rest of the squad with 3-up armor saves. Okay, and they have passed. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. We lost 4 Marines in that devastating firepower from the Volkite Chargers. And don't forget, the Charger has Death of the Great, so we get to roll to wound again for the ones that went through. Get 3 additional wounds, which is amazing. Now we're on to 3-up armors. Oh man, we lose another Imperial Fist. That is shocking. Sorry, Dan, didn't mean to drop it. All right, so at the end of that, both units have had a round. So we've lost 2, 4, 6 Marines and 2, 4 Immortals. Let's have a leadership test though. 8 required for the Imperial Fists. That is a 9. They have failed and they will fall back 3 inches. All right, so a rough guess at 3 inches is about there. Oop. Remember I said earlier about wobbly model? All right, we're in. No more Marines. Wow, what a devastating attack. It just goes to show that Immortals combined with that boarding shield and then that feel no pain at the end really keeps them in the fight. I think it was quite a good average rolling from both sides as well, so really pleased. Next, we are going to reset the board and we are going to go into the Iron Hands having their shot with their full complement of Volkite Chargers. All right, back for round 2. Now, you may have noticed that the dice camera failed there. There's a loose connection on the wire, which is a real pain. So it cut out. So I appreciate some of those dice rolls you didn't see towards the end, but I've fixed it now, I've repaired the wire, and we are good to go. So apologies about that. I did consider refilming, but I think the dice rolls were really good, really average there. So I didn't refilm. So I wanted to make sure it was honest for you guys to watch. All right. Now we're going to go back and, as I mentioned, we are going to shoot the complement of Volkite Chargers from the Immortals into the Tactical Support Squad. There are 20 shots with the Volkite Charger, requiring 3s to hit. So tons of dice. Let's have a go. That is not bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 misses, so we've got 14 hits, which is pretty good. Now, Strength 5, Toughness 4 is 3s to wound, so let's have a look at that. Not too bad, so 2, 3, 4, 5, average. So 6 misses, so we've got, 6 failed to wounds, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds for the Imperial Fist to take. Now, let's have a quick look. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're 5 before the sergeant, so let's do those 5 first. So 3 ups, 2 dead. Let's take 2 out, get rid of them. 3 left. Okay, and 1 more Marine died. All right, so let's pull him out of the way. So it does cause them to take a leadership test. Let's have a save on a 9 up. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Exactly right. So pretty good there. All right, now it's the turn of the Iron Hands Immortals to take on the Imperial Fist with their Volkite Chargers. We know that there's 10 Marines in the squad, or 10 Immortals rather. They're 2 shots apiece, Strength 5. We need 3s to hit. Not a bad roll. So 2, 4, 5 misses, so 15 hits in total, which is pretty good. Again, requiring 3s, Strength 5, Toughness 4, 3s to wound. Not bad. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 failed to wound there. That's a real shame. So now we go on to the 3-up armor saves from the Marines. Where is the sergeant? Let's have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's 6 Marines back, so let's do that. 2, 4, 6. All right, requiring 3 ups. Holy hell. All right, so that is 3 failed from the Imperial Fist. So 3 plasma gunners are killed in that fusillade of shots from the Volkite Chargers. And then finally 2 more 3-up armor saves and we fail another 1. That is really unfortunate for the Fists. Okay, so that killed 4 Fists. Now a leadership check, of course. Sergeant is still alive, thankfully, so he's leadership 9. Let's have a quick test. 5, 6, passes on a 6, so great news there. Now what that means is that it now allow the Immortals to charge into the Imperial Fists. We wanted to showcase this earlier, just see what Overwatch would have happened. So let's go and do that now. So the Sergeant is still alive, he has a plasma pistol. 6 is to hit, he failed to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we have 10 shots from the plasmas. Let's see if they can make an impact. All right, so we'll start front to back and work there. So double 6, nope. Come on, give me a double. Okay, we do get a get hot, unfortunate. 3 up armor save, passed, good stuff. 6 shots left. 1 hit, we'll come back to that. Next one failed, oh, cheating there. And finally, 1 hit and 1 get hot. So the get hot roll, 3 up, passed. Good news for the Imperial Fists. Now, strength 7, toughness 5, it's still 2s to wound. 2 wounds, great. Now, the Sergeant and the Immortal are equidistant. So if the Sergeant were first, I would look out Sir, but he's equidistant, so we'll take it on the Marine out front there. So he needs a 6 up boarding shield, passed, unbelievably. And then another 6 up boarding shield, failed on a 1. 5 up, feel no pain, fail. Okay, so Immortal does go down to Overwatch. Not as good as I thought, but then, you know, don't forget we are rolling 6s to hit for the Imperial Fist. So let's make that charge. Now, the Immortal he's just over 4.5 inches. So he's 5 inches. -1 for the Void Hardened Armor, and then -2 because the Immortals are charging through difficult terrain. So we've got a -3, so we need an 8 on 2 dice. Now you might say, well, why didn't you move the Immortals closer? I absolutely could have done, but let's just assume that they ended their movement there. And so when charging with Breacher Marines, they are a little bit tough. And if you are going through cover, it's even tougher. So we've got a -3 modifier, and we need an 8. Your average, as you all know, is a 7. So fingers crossed we can make this charge. Oh, it's actually a 10. All right, so that's really good news. Cool. All right, so we'll move these Immortals up. Got a huge 10-inch charge, so we'll just double check. Yeah, everyone is in range to get as close as possible to those Imperial Fists. So we're moving closest to closest, making contact with bases as much as we can. We all know this. Great stuff. Now the highest initiative here is 4, but we get an opportunity to issue a challenge. Now Imperial Fists, they have to issue challenges, but the Immortal Sergeant will issue that challenge. And don't forget, we talked before about using breaching charges in combat. You know, sometimes if you can't get the two together for whatever reason, you separate them out and put them on a different part of the battlefield like they're in the challenge. But then if you are using a breaching a breaching charge, that reduces the amount of targets you can get. Now I'm lucky that we can get into combat here. So our Sergeant is here, so we replace him with a Marine that's in combat, just like that, and replace the Fist there. And now they're in combat, we'll be able to get that breaching charge off, which hopefully will work to devastating effect. Everyone in this combat has initiative 4, so it all will happen concurrently. So there's a lot of swirling attacks going on here, all at the same initiative. But it's the Iron Hand's turn, so we'll start with the Sergeant first, and he's going to use his breaching charge. Now we're going to place this down. So here it will clip 3 Marines. Yes. Actually, I can clip 4 Marines there, so I'm going to leave that blast marker in place if I can. No, I can't. All right, just trust me, you can get 4. I do need a scatter dice, which should be around here somewhere, which it is just there. Big roll this, you know, we saw this earlier, it spectacularly backfired, so let's try and get hit if we can. So we roll it to hit dice. We've got weapon skill 4 against weapon skill 4, so we need a 4 to hit. Oh, thankfully it worked. Let's see what happened if it would have scattered, just in case. Oh, that wouldn't have been good. It would have scattered back onto the Immortal. So thankfully it hit. So let's have a look at the profile. It is strength 8 AP 2, 4 Marines, and this is just 2s to kill. Double 1. That is brilliant. All right, so it will kill 4 models under that template. Now, this is a really good point, isn't it? Because we had a Sergeant and 3 Marines. So we have to do closest to closest, I guess. That sergeant is dead. We'll pull him out to the side. And the next closest Marine is this plasma Marine here. All right, so that killed 2 Marines. So really good effort there. Now we'll go on to the Immortals. Now we do need to check though to see if they were in combat at the beginning of the turn. So within someone that's within 2 inches of combat, which everyone is. It's always really important to measure that. All right, so there's 10 in the squad, -1 for the sergeant and -1 for that Marine. So there's 8 Marines in the squad, 1 attack each, +1 for charging. So there is 16 attacks, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 attacks coming in from the rest of the Immortals into the plasma gun squad, requiring 4s to hit. That was not bad at all. 4, 5, 6, 7 failed to hit. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 hits, and now we need 4s to wound. Wow, that was a pretty good roll. That's a 3. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm going to roll these all together. It's just 3 up armor saves, and that is 3 failed. So 1, 2, 3, leaving 1 Imperial Fist plasma gunner left. But it is initiative 4. We all strike at the same time. We'll start with the sergeant that was in a challenge with the Immortal Sergeant, and he has 2 attacks requiring 4s to hit. 1 hit, 4s to wound. That is a wound, but the sergeant has Artificer armor, which he passes, which is great. All right, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks back from the Marines. 4s to hit. Oh my God, that was a really poor roll. Nothing hit, unfortunately. And that is the end of the combat. So the Immortals have won by a difference of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5. So leadership 8, so there's a 3 required. And that, of course, is a pass. Now, the Immortals have a great thing. They have a thing called Gun Them Down. So instead of sweeping opponents in combat, they can just gun them down. So they fire their full complement of firepower, whatever weapon they've got. So we have 18 Volkite Charger shots, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and it's just a normal shooting round. Now, I think this used to be in the old rules. This used to be an Overwatch attack, so on 6s, but now they've changed it to a standard shooting attack, which is absolutely amazing, particularly in Zone Mortalis. So 3s to hit, I think is a bit overkill for 1 Marine. However, it's a great roll. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 hits, 3s to wound, 2, 4, 6, 8 wounds, and now requiring 3s to save. Wow, look, that plucky Imperial Fist nearly did it. He only failed 1 of those saves. That was unbelievable. And he is dead. Bomb. Get rid of those fists off the board. And if we look at the death toll, we can do a consolidate, we're not too worried about it. If we look at the death toll, we've lost 1 Iron Hands Immortal to a full complement of plasma gun support squads. I appreciate that the Immortals got the first turn. It would have been a different story if it had gone Imperial Fist, Immortals, Imperial Fist, Immortals, but that's just the way it works. So I tried to give you both sides of the coin there. You know, the devastating firepower from the Fists versus the Volkite Chargers, and then a charge from the Immortals. And don't forget, the old breaching charge worked really well for us in this game. So that was really cool too. All right, that is the end of Firefight Episode 8. I really hope you've enjoyed that. Certainly a lot of fun for me. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below. Or if you'd like to get in touch directly, it's david@the30kchannel.com on email. You can obviously contact me via social media as well. If you have any scenarios which you'd like to cover in the future beyond the Corona Chronicles, please let me know and I'll endeavour to cover them for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.